18 News.
And we begin with a massive traffic alert. I-5 northbound shut down the top deck of the Markham Bridge following this accident. A rollover semi carrying a huge steel beam. And now it's going to take hours to fix and clear the roadway. It is 6 o'clock. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Kelly Day. That steel beam crushed a car up against the bridge. Thankfully, that person survived. We do have team coverage on the backup. Carly Kennelly, let's start with you and the plan B.
No, let's go to Cor Harlan, who's live on the bridge where this crash happened. Cor, the pictures here tell the story. Incredible. I see you got the hard hat on now.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Got all the standard issue stuff for standing in the freeway. I'm told now, Jeff and Kelly, that ODOT engineers are in the process of evaluating bridge stability. That's the first thing that they want to do. As I step out of the picture here and give you a little shot, that is the semi that was traveling northbound on the deck of the Markham Bridge right here. As you can see, it sort of fell over. This the freeway right here is sort of sloped inward here, and this thing just apparently tipped right over on top of that car there, leaving that beam. And I don't know if you can tell that or not, but I've been telling people this all night. That's 173,000 pounds, and it's 150 feet long, and it is going to take quite an effort to get that off of the roadway. Kelly Dinwiddie with ODOT right now. So bridge engineers are here doing their evaluation, and give us sort of a summation of that and how they're going to try and get this beam off of the roadway here.
So our bridge engineers have been here for about an hour, and they're looking at the bridge, they're looking at cracks, they're looking to see if this beam tipping over caused any damage, but they're also looking to see if we could cause any damage by removing this beam off the bridge. So we're looking to see, we want to keep the bridge safe, we don't want to cause any additional damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this beam up into sections.
Okay, so this will entail people coming on here, chipping this thing into pieces and hauling it off piece by piece, right?
We're going to have a bunch of people attack this bridge beam with jackhammers, breaking up the concrete, hauling the debris out of here in dump trucks, and then hit it with the cutting torch and break up all the rebar. This is going to take several hours. We expect the road to be closed for the remainder of the night. We hope to have it back open in time for the morning commute.
Good, Kim, thanks very much. So that's what they're doing right now to sort of get this beam out of the way. Now earlier we told you about a guy, his name is Mark Cole. He was in the steering vehicle that trails this beam. They actually have two steering columns. Mark was in the rear of this when he began to see the beam lean over. As he says, as this beam was falling, he knew it was going to fall over in the freeway. He simply braced for impact. Mark got up out of his car because he had seen that the beam had fallen on a vehicle over there, and he knew somebody was inside of that vehicle. Mark jumped out of his compartment there and ran to that vehicle to rescue this woman. Here's his sound.
I kind of yanked her. I was trying not to be a little rough, but I mean, we had to go. I mean, her fire was everywhere, so it's like we had to go. So I braced. I kind of stepped down on top of the car. I braced myself, and I just kind of yanked her out of there. We went up over the beam, ran down the beam, up onto the road, across the road. I ripped my shirt off.
She had a hole in her hand, you say, right?
Yeah, she had a decent little chunk missing in her hand.
Well, that was Mark Cole. He was the driver from the back there. As we just heard now, this is going to be several hours at the Markham Bridge right here. It is going to be closed for the evening, according to ODOT. A lot of things are happening right here. I've got a mobile crane right here on wheels next to me that's going to probably start pulling the cab of this truck up first thing, and then they'll get to work on clearing this beam up, which is going to be no small job. Jeff and Kelly?
What a mess. And you saw that shot of that black car that was completely crushed against a guardrail, and that woman was okay, only minor injuries. It's almost like a miracle. Carly, the second part of this story is the traffic mess this accident has created. What's going on?
Well, we still have delays out there, of course, but I've actually seen things lighten up a little bit. The I-5 northbound commute is no longer backed up to Capitol like it was earlier. So I-5 northbound, you see the yellow here? This was just a line of red, so it's actually improving on I-5 northbound. Traffic is forced to use I-405 northbound instead of I-5. I-405 southbound through downtown there is still very heavy, so you're going to find a lot of delay leading up to the Fremont Bridge. So you can see the I-5 northbound commute is improving. Southbound is still heavy on I-405, and traffic on the northbound commute, at least looking better. There's I-405 southbound. It's backed up to the Fremont Bridge. It was backed up earlier to about Delta Park, so even that has improved. But some of the Plan Bs, like Barber, are still very heavy. Back to you.
Thank you, Carly. You know, we had a question. We wanted to know whether a truck carrying the size of this load and the length is allowed on the bridge. ODOT tells us any truck more than 80,000 pounds has to have permits. So we're now working to find out how heavy this truck was, if they had the right permits, and we'll bring you the latest on that tonight at 11.
And a development